Hello, this is Nicholas Tanek from YourKinkyFriends.com. I have a wonderful guest today on this Saturday afternoon. Usually I do at night, but this woman works nights. So we're doing it on this Saturday at noon. Please welcome, she is a cam model, an erotic cam performer. She is a dancer. She's a beautiful woman who also makes jewelry. We're going to talk about jewelry. We're going to talk about chastity. We're going to talk about camming. We're going to talk about dancing. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk a whole lot. Please welcome PHANI3. Say hi.
Hi. How is everybody?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my real name is Stephanie, so that's why it's Fanny. That's my actual real name. But I like to call myself the artist formerly known as Blank Girl because I am a meme named Blank Girl too. If anyone knows what a meme is, yeah.
Oh no, we know what a meme is. Memes are have been very popular in the last couple of years, even with the election and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So let's start out with you starting out. You are obviously someone who sexually expresses themselves, and you are kinky, obviously from your videos and stuff like that. So tell us about the first time you were kind of out as a kinky person.
Out in terms of like out to the general public, I
Yeah.
would say maybe like when I was 18, because on my 18th birthday, I went with my mother to a strip club to audition.
Ah, interesting. Okay. We'll talk about the strip clubs and the dancing soon. Now, what would you say? How did you get involved in the community, in the kink community, and in stripping? Like, you went out to an audition. What was that like?
Just like terrifying, like completely terrifying. Like I was extremely nervous and scared, you know what I mean? Because that's your first time, it's like you're naked in front of so many people, and that's like a kink too, in a way, like being naked in front of strangers, like random new strangers, in a way. Like I think about it. Sometimes it's kinky. Like when I go home, sometimes I'll masturbate to like that idea. Like, look at all these people I was naked in front of, like, you know what I mean? Because it can turn me on in a way. But I was really nervous. Honestly, I was scared. I was scared.
Okay. One of the when it comes to dancing, there is. I mean, I was just watching. I was watching The Hangover, and there's the guy who marries a stripper, and some people, there's sometimes like, personally, I love it. I'm happy that I mean, there should be strippers. There should be people who sexually express themselves, but obviously you get like certain people who are very religious, or who there's a prejudice to it. How do you deal with that?
And the funniest part too is like people are very religious, but a lot of like priests and rabbis come into strip clubs, or even like customers, like online customers. Like it's very interesting. But I mean, I'm very religious personally myself, which is surprising to people, but like I'm extremely spiritual. I'm extremely, like, I pray all the time. All I do, you know what I mean? I pray all the time. Like, I actually, like, I love Jesus Christ as a man is very inspiring. He's super inspiring. He's a great guy. He's a wonderful person. He's like, it's true. Like, yeah, it's smart to be like him. He's a nice guy. But in terms of the vitriol and the lack of human rights that people do when they attack someone and they use religion or whatever as their backbone, it infuriates me. And I feel like that doesn't come from love. That doesn't come from religion. That doesn't come from, I don't think, the man Jesus Christ. They often say that Jesus Christ ran around with a prostitute, Mary Magdalene. This is well known. This is something that we all know this. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's sick that it's not true. And that's not, to me, that's not true love. That's not true care for your fellow human. But
You know what's interesting that you said that there are priests and rabbis who actually come and visit. There was a comedy club there is a comedy club in New York, and before it was a comedy club, I think it was the Comedy Cellar. I could be wrong, but before it was a comedy, it was a strip club, and after the club opened, the rabbi priest just kept on. They're like, "Where are the girls? Where are the girls?" Like it was, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So one thing about dancing is the music. So what type of music do you like to dance to? Because you could pick your own music, right? Or do you not?
It depends on the club and or depends on the DJ. Some DJs like are prima donnas and they think that they're like the greatest DJ of all time or whatever. So like they like have their own sets and they think they're famous and dumb shit like that. But usually you can suggest maybe a few songs and then they'll play those or then they'll play songs like those. But the funny thing about me is that like I'm like into music. Like I was like in band in high school, so like I love music. So to me, when you perform to a song, like you enter that world, like you know you're one with the energy of that song. So like to me music is important, but I dance to anything and I can dance to anything. I'm proud of the fact that regardless of the genre I could dance to anything, you know what I mean? Like some girls complain, you know, it's a thing in the clubs that it's almost like hip hop girls versus rock girls and they like hate each other. Like it's like prison, you know what I mean?
I
Like
was wondering that. Yeah.
yeah, and they like hate each other because it's like when you know when like the rock girl is up, like the hip hop girls will be like, "Ugh, I hate this song." But then like when the hip hop girls are up, like the rock girls will be like, "Oh my god, this is like ghetto," you know what I mean? Like so it's like there's a back and forth, but at the end of the day, like me, like I could even like when they play like Spanish or Latin music, I'm like I'm gonna fuck it up. Like
That's a great attitude. I was listening to some music because I was preparing for this interview. I was listening to some music and I was like, you know what? She probably danced really good to this. There's a couple songs that you might be interested in, but they're not well known. And I don't know if that's a no-no in a strip club. Usually, like they play well-known songs, but there's a song by a band called Sweet Spirit and it's called "Baby When I Close My Eyes," and it's not upbeat. It's not, but it's not downbeat. It's not slow, but it's sexy in this weird kind of dirty way. And then when it comes to like hip hop, there's a whole thing called trip hop, which is a lot of more instrumental or but it's hip hop influenced, but it's it's a little slower, but not too slow, a little but sexier than the typical like yeah, we want some pussy it's like stuff.
right.
Okay, so are there any certain songs that you like love to dance to?
Honestly,
Yeah.
um I'm such a bug out when it comes to like what I love to dance to, and it changes on my mood or that week. You know what I mean? Like I'm not one of those girls that like there are some girls in strip clubs that dance to the same song for 5 years. You know what I mean? That that's their song, and they get territorial too, like over that song. Like if another girl like dances to that song, they'll get like really pissed off and like territorial, like how dare you dance to my song? I'm totally different. Like I'm such like I'm really bugged out like as a person. Like one day I'll be fucking drunk or one day I'll be fucking high. One day I'll do fucking a little cocaine, you know what I mean? And it's just a different like if I'm on cocaine, I actually like love to dance to like electronic music. Like, like it depends on the substance or my mood.
Yeah, definitely. Electronic music gets you there, especially if you're fucked up on drugs. I used to do a lot of coke. That really music really gets you into that mood. Okay, so let's talk about dancing. What are some of the misconceptions that people have of dancers?
Oh my god, that we're just like ready to fuck anybody. That's like the worst thing. They think that yeah, like even like our cab drivers or like the people that see you when you leave outside of the clubs, they're like, look at those fucking whores. They'll fuck a street sign or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. Like, we're not like and we're not it's not like IHOP. We're not open 24 hours. Like
Yeah, so that's funny. So men out there, you know, treat the dancers with respect, please. Just like if you're gonna treat a professional dominatrix with respect, you're gonna treat you know a prostitute with respect. You're going to treat any kind of sex worker, treat them with respect. Don't just assume that they're going to fuck you, because they're not. Because they, I'm
Right.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
we'll give you consent. You'll know. You'll definitely know. Like, if we want to
And
fuck you, we'll probably tell you, because a lot of dancers are confident. We don't care. You know what I mean? Like, we want to have sex with you. You will know. Like,
and plus, you probably have guys wanting to fuck you all the time.
yeah, but then like that's like not even like, honestly, that's like another thing. Like, I like attention. You know, like that's fine. Like, I appreciate the attention, but it's like it's in a negative way. They think that someone who is sexual or whatever is like a bad person or is less than a human, you know?
Yeah,
And that's like stupid as shit. Like,
I know. Not at your kinky friends. We celebrate it. We, so okay, let's talk about this. I'm very curious about this. I'm sure you get a kind of, um, I guess, not a Florence Nightingale effect. Like, you get this kind of effect where men fall in love with you, and it's like, even though they don't know you as a person, they just know you as an image, as a dancer, as a body. Does that happen often, and how do you deal with that?
yeah, that's like sad. So they like, older strippers will tell younger strippers that even if a guy like wants to marry you, has all this money, seems like the greatest guy in the world, you know what I mean? All those things, that you need to be extremely wary and aware that he's not in love with you. He's not in love with you as a person because he met you in a strip club. So you're never going to be like, you need to be extremely wary and or aware of it. Like, okay, so he's actually just going to marry or wants to marry or is in love with this character, which is the stripper, you know, this, which is the people pleaser, which is the, you know what I mean? Like, cuz that's your job, is to, you know, find out what someone likes and then be that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
cuz you have to be that fantasy. So it's like, it's it's actually like sad because some people get hurt. Even like, I know like a girl that got with a guy or whatever, and it's like, he doesn't love her, and she suffers often. She suffers, and they have like a baby together, and it's sick for her, and it's not really fair. But it's she should have been aware of that going into it. You know, you're mad at the strip club, like.
Okay. Now, I know that, especially with the FOSTA-SESTA laws and stuff like that, there is a kind of a crackdown on sex work. How have the dancers been dealing with, the legal issues with it? Because there are certain things that you can't do. There's certain things that you want to do. There's certain things you don't want to do. There's certain things that they ask of you and stuff like that. So, how do you navigate through all that?
This shit really touches to home because it's really fucked up. Like, this, the whole thing, the Fossa Sesta, it's caused people like more deaths. You know, more people are dying.
Oh
More
yeah,
people are
people are doing. It's pushing people underground, which is
people are going missing. People are going missing. You know, it's not fair. But what I think, in terms of just for the strip clubs or whatever, like, it's there are more strippers in the clubs than they used to be, because there have to be in the clubs to mine for customers, you know, because they can't be on Backpage anymore. So now I think it's caused like a bad influx, because there are more girls working, and this is not just in the state of New York. This is in New Jersey, this is in Philadelphia, this is even in Las Vegas, you know what I mean? Because I dance everywhere in the past like few years even, but ever since Fosta Sesta, more girls are working, but less customers are coming in. So it's making the atmosphere tighter, you know, and more like intense than it should be, because it should be fun, you know?
definitely, definitely. Now, when it comes to a lot of dancers have their own kind of style or theme. Some are more of like a goth. Some are more, like I said, like you said, hip hop. Some are ghetto. Some are posh. Some are kind of burlesque. What would you say your style is?
Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey meets like, you know, like Avril, but like later Avril, but like meets like Amy Winehouse. Like, think about like every like singer. I think glam. Honestly, I'm like a glam whore.
Okay. When I think glam, I think of 70s glam rock. That's a whole different kind of glam, but still, it's
Well, no, it's the same thing, because they did their hair and they do their makeup, and you know
makeup.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
All right. One thing about being, like, I mean, of course they have all different shapes, sizes, and races, and everything. You know, when it comes to dancers and stuff like that. But I've seen the pictures. I've seen your body. Like, you obviously keep up your body. Like, tell us about the fitness and how you maintain that body. You know, the body that you have.
Honestly, this is I always feel like I'm copping out when I answer this because I know like the whole fitness thing like on Instagram, like people go crazy for this shit. People make careers off of this shit, like whatever. Who has the best body? I like call Instagram the booty Olympics because it's like you know, like who has the best body? Like, you know, like but I'm such an asshole and I'm going to answer this question 100% honest. I drink a lot. Maybe I'm an alcoholic. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about that. But I drink a lot. I do a lot of dancing and a lot of fucking. I like to ride dick. I like to be on top. It's really great for your legs, for your abdomen. I swear to God, it really is.
You
It's
know what?
wonderful.
The model, you know, Paulina Poroskova, she claims that her only exercise is fucking.
Yeah, riding dick is the best exercise that you could possibly. I feel like, you know, it's a whole body workout. I mean, come
That
on.
that should be one of your tweets. Riding dick is the best exercise. You should do a whole. You can do a whole video. We'll talk about the videos later, but you can do a whole video of just like, you know, fucking exercises. Exercise the.
That's a great idea. That's an incredible idea. That's
Fanny's
actually
three
like
fuck workout.
okay, ladies.
Riding dick is great exercise. Okay. All right. So, okay, Cammy fall in love with you. All right. So, obviously, you putting yourself out there in the cam world, or especially the dancing world, you're gonna get some creeps. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with the people who get a little too obsessed with you, or you know, or stalky, or just creepy?
I'm crazier than them.
That's a good answer. Oh, please explain.
It's like you know, they think I'm not the one, really. I mean, but also that's a tactic that I even tell like young sex workers that listen, predators or like real creeps, they don't want to deal with someone who's crazy. They really don't. You know what I mean? They're looking for someone, let's say submissive, you know, they're looking for someone who like definitely be dominant. You know what I mean? Just be dominant and in control and crazy as shit. Because if you're submissive or you're like too nice or whatever, like you'll get eaten alive. You'll get eaten alive.
Interesting. Like get their IDs and credit card numbers and and dox them or something like that.
No, I would never do that. I actually think doxing is so bad. Like, you know
Oh,
what I
it's
mean? So
horrible. Yeah,
I would never do
I was just making a
that.
joke. Yeah. It's, um. Okay, so there is, you know, as a sex worker, some people, like, I've talked to a lot of dominatrixes. I've talked to, you know, a lot of people who do sex work for a living, but in the bedroom and in person, it's just something totally different. Are you kind of the same as a sex worker and in the bedroom, or is it black and white? Is it totally different?
I think in the bedroom, I'm more like, I would say naturally or initially submissive. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I was like first having sex or whatever, and then like as I got old, before I even learned about like kinks and all these things, I think I was naturally submissive. But then as I got into like kinks, now I like enjoy being a dominatrix. You know what I mean? Like, but I learned about it. I had to learn and get to know things, and now like now I like to be dom too. That's why like I really identify as a switch, but I wasn't. I think my natural inclination is submissive.
Interesting. Okay. So, are you in a current relationship right now?
I just got out of a relationship that I was in for 6 years,
Oh,
and he was like my dom.
interesting. Okay. And you know, we don't have to get into the details of the breakup or anything like that, but I'm always curious about how kinky people meet. So, how did you two meet?
He was the DJ and I was the dancer
Okay. Interesting.
at Scores on the West Side Highway.
Now, a lot of people, a lot of women, especially who are into any kind of sex work, whether it's phone sex or videos or dancing or whatever like that, sometimes it's that comes in the way. Did that ever come in? Like, did that ever put a dent in the relationship, and how did you deal with that?
Okay, so the first time we ever like hooked up or whatever, like it was already like we like assumed those roles, those positions, and so like some things, like that kind of turned him on, me being a dancer and like being like, but like he would be like, oh, you're, like you're such a dirty fucking slut, like stuff like that, but it would be like horny and like fun, like I think it was more, it added to like, I think it was fun for us. Like, like we've done a lot of crazy shit together, like with other, like all kinds of shit that I wish I would have filmed.
Okay, let's talk about film. Let's talk about film. You have some movies out. You are, I guess you'd call it cam girl, or is there a different term?
Yeah, I go for cam girl. That's easy enough, right?
Okay.
I mean, that's what I call it, but I feel like I don't even do live camming that much. So I'm like, I'm that's a lie because I'm a scammer. I barely live cam. I live cam like once a month. So.
Okay. And then do you do it with other people, or is it just you?
I have live cam with a girl before, but one other girl before, but it was on her account,
Ah.
but just once. I feel like I
Okay.
need to do that more, but mostly I work as a stripper. That's my everyday, day to day.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to camming, like, what do you want to do? Because camming has become an art form in many ways. There are people who are
It
like doing
is.
like my friend Amy Mercury. She does like clown porn and mommy porn and diaper porn, stuff like that. And then there's someone, Miss Babylon, who does like alien stuff. And then I was talking to someone yesterday who, Miss Cameron, who, like, she does like this elegant kind of old fashioned erotic, like erotic, yeah, art, artistic erotica. So it's like, is there something how do you want to take your cam career, basically?
One could argue that sex play, role play, you know, the things that, when you're kinky and, like submissive and dominant and all that, one could argue that sex in itself is the most creative act and is the best and most important art of our lives. That's my opinion. I feel like sex is an art in general, and the fact that we get to express ourselves creatively. Like all the girls that I follow so many amazing cam girls, and they are just they inspire me every day, every single day. They inspire me. They're and it's such a, and it's a beautiful. It's like a creative circle jerk, and it's alive. Like I feel it. Like it's amazing. Like I think it's all art, and for me, my personal art angle or whatever, I mean, I don't know. I just like to have my thing is I just want to have fun and I want to have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I totally respect that. Okay, so all right, being a switch. All right, so I saw a video that you made about chastity. Okay, do you have anybody in chastity right now, like in real life?
I have like three regular submissives that I mean, yeah, they should be. If they're not, I'll be mad.
Online.
Yeah, online, not in right now, not in real life. No.
Okay. All right. I was talking yesterday to Miss Cameron about that. Um, on how like different ways you could check. Like they make
They send
like
me pictures. They have
yeah,
to send
send
me
send
pictures.
pictures. One person had wired his whole house up with cameras, with video cameras, and she could watch like every moment of his life. I thought that was nuts. That was great.
Good, right.
So, what is the longest you had someone in chastity for?
Oh my god, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I mean, at least like a month. Like I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
I feel like definitely a month. A month.
Okay, we were talking about drugs before. I've done drugs. You've done drugs. And there is I don't want to say a stigma, but there's definitely a stereotype about dancers and the clubs, that there are drugs in the clubs. How has it changed? I mean, with all the laws and everything like that, has it changed? Is it different? What's it like?
I have worked at strip clubs all over the United States, from Las Vegas to New York, and every single strip club I've ever been to has at least some drug dealer or more than one, and usually they're an employee of the club. So usually the drug dealers of the clubs are like, they're like one of the bus boys, or you know what I mean, like there are drugs in every single strip club I've ever worked at. And that's, I mean, I'm not trying to like put anybody in jail, but I feel like that's a well-known fact.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the stereotype that everybody knows. What would you say the most popular drug is?
Cocaine,
Yeah,
with a close second being ecstasy.
really.
Yeah.
I would think ecstasy would make you like, because the cocaine kind of like you come down from it, but the ecstasy, it kind of keeps going even after the high is like you're still, because whatever the ecstasy is cut with, like usually it's acid or heroin or something like that. Like it usually like kind of keeps you. You're like, you're not like really really high, but you're still not you're not sober. You know what I mean? I would yeah, I can see the cocaine definitely.
Yeah, cocaine is number one, and that's from dancer and customer. Like the customers do the cocaine, and the dancers do like cocaine is like the number one thing. It's almost like that's what in New York that we just call it party. Like then people will be like, "Oh, you got the party fever?" Like that's like the slang. Like,
Okay, so
but it's more widespread even outside of just like dancing. Like New York City is notorious for like people who work at restaurants, like waitresses and bartenders. They're all fucking coked out.
oh god, yeah, I know. The cooks too. I mean, you go into the kitchen, they're just doing rails.
Right.
They're doing rails right off the salmon. All right, let's talk advice now. If a woman wants to get in, a woman doesn't have any experience being a dancer, what advice would you give them?
I would say the first thing is to know yourself and know your limits. That's so crucial because you're going to hurt yourself if you don't know your limits, you know, because people will test them, you know? You have to know yourself, and you have to know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, where you are, and that's even like you got to know your harsh limits, you got to know your harsh lines. Ask yourself that shit in the mirror, you know?
Okay. And for what advice would you give to men who are not, who've never been to a club before, have never been with an exotic dancer or an erotic dancer, and how to approach someone like you?
Inside the club or outside of the club?
Either both. Actually, that's good. That's good that you said that. Both.
Okay. So like inside the club, don't approach a dancer. Well, I mean like inside the club, honestly, because the way the fantasy is set up, you should not really be approaching it because we will approach you unless like you can't control yourself. You have to have that dancer obviously like go up to her as fast as you can and just be like, I would love to spend money on you tonight. How can I? You know what I mean? Let's figure this out. I would love to see you. I mean, just say it straight up. Like, I want to see you naked. Let's, how do I do this? And then she'll easily tell you the prices because there's varying prices at varying clubs. Like, you could get a champagne room, you could get a regular lap dance. You know what I mean? You could do all those things, and she'll walk you through it because that's our job is to kind of lead you. So, but outside of the strip club, honestly, I hate getting approached. I hate I don't want people to bother me, like, because I'm so over it, like being at work. So if you want to get a dancer outside of the strip club, honestly, or how about this? If you want to date a dancer or whatever, you should actually just get a job at a strip club because a lot of dancers end up dating the people they work with.
Interesting. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. Okay, so all right. All right. So you're in New York, right?
Yes.
Okay. New York is famous, embarrassingly enough, for catcalling, and you were talking about how you get it outside, like outside of work. So how do you deal with catcalls? Like, "Sup, baby girl? Come on, just turn around, just smile for me. Come on, all I want is a smile. Come on." Oh,
As I said before, the tried and true rule is always act crazier. Always act crazier.
All right, you
So
got to
when
tell
guys,
me more about this. What what have you done?
oh my god, everything. What do you mean? When guys
Like,
yell at me and I'm not in a good mood, I will fucking ruin them. I will turn the fuck around and roast their fucking asses, yo. Like I go super dom on them. Like I just wrote because I have the time sometimes. I don't know, and not because I'm trying to be a bitch, but like, yo, like that's like mind your own business. Like if people are okay, let me tell you places where men should approach women if they're attracted to them sexually, not the street. That's not where. So, and maybe anywhere else but the fucking street, because you know why someone's on the street? Because they have to go somewhere.
yeah, yeah, they're not standing around. They're
Yeah, they're not, they're not there. We're not there waiting for you to hit on us. Like, that's not what that was. Like, we're actually going somewhere. We have things to do. Like,
all
and
right.
like aside, like we wouldn't do that to you. Like a woman would never like be like, oh, he looks busy and he's going somewhere. Here, let me just stand in front of him and make sure he can. Let me follow him for 4 blocks and fucking scream at him. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
I don't get that. I don't like. Does that ever work? Like, come on, yo, sup, baby girl, smile for me, turn around for me. Like, does that work? That can't
Sadly,
work.
sadly, since okay, especially in like a big state like NYC, it's a numbers game to them, so it does work. So they do it to a
Oh,
hundred girl, yeah, they do it to 100 girls. The 101st girl may give them their numbers. So that's the problem, is they have found success like once or 3 times in their lifetime.
so they play these bad odds. Oh God.
Right, right.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. We were talking before, and you said you have a funny dungeon story.
I do.
All right. Let's hear it.
Okay, so when I was also like younger, I wasn't even 21 yet. I needed money. So I was on Craigslist, right? And Craigslist, they have foot fetish parties, they have all these things. So
Not
it was,
anymore.
well, yeah, because of everything that happened, right? But they did used to, and that it was, use your own discretion. Like I said, like I'm not advising young girls or anybody to go do this shit, because it's actually fucking crazy. Like you should not do what I'm about to say that I did. I was 19 years old. I looked at this thing. It was like it said a fetish party, and it said that they were gonna pay each of the girls or whatever for 150 to show up, and then you could get more while you're there to do things or whatever with people. So it was like this guy, and it was really actually like this basement. And it was actually like, I don't know if you know the elephant room. It's like it was the basement of the elephant room. And this like a famous
Oh,
place, yeah. And it was, but they had everything. It was all set up, you know what I mean? They had cages, they had it all. They had it all. And basically you were kind of like supposed to mingle with people and see what people were about. And I'm 19 years old and I'm like pissing on this like 6-year-old guy's fucking mouth.
like, how'd you go? Wait, hold on a second. Wait, let's back up for a second. How'd you go from just like being in a basement or going to a basement party to pissing on a 60-year-old guy?
Right. So, well, I started to mingle with him, and I got my initial $150, and I'm like talking around. I start to mingle, and he's like, and he's really creepy, and he's like, "Oh my god, I just want you to piss in my mouth." Like that was like the first thing he said to me, and I was like, "Well, holy shit!" And I was like, how much? Like, how are we gonna do this?" So, and he only paid me $100 to do it more.
Did you have to go, or did you have to drink liquid?
Oh, we were drinking liquor, so I did actually. I was ready to go.
Oh, okay. Because it's like I always have, when it comes to piss play, I always have this like image of like someone like, I can't, you don't have to go. I don't have to go. And the person's just there waiting, like wah wah.
Right. You got to warm up for that. That's a bit of a warm up.
Yeah. So how
But
did that go
surprisingly, I
after you
was
pissed in his
ready.
mouth?
How was it like?
Well, yeah, how did it go? What was the next step afterwards? You were just like, all right, take care, or did you?
I was so stunned at like everything that was going on, but I just did it. And then more so, later that night. So then like guys were like sucking on toes and stuff, and then like at that time like I wasn't really ready to be like, you know, with strain, because some girls there were actually being like, they had tied them up and had them with strain, and you know they had put during the vibrators because they wanted to do like force coming and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty shocking like at that age, but like I was so fascinated. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, whoa, like what? Like what's going on here?
Okay, so let's talk about jewelry. You're not just a dancer. You're not just a cam girl. You also make jewelry. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm so excited. Actually, like, okay, this is my home. I don't know if you can like, this is NYC. You can see it's so beautiful. I don't know if it's probably can't see because the whatever. Okay, this is my little jewelry setup. I just got a gold plating machine, which I'm like crazy excited about. This is everything. I make a lot of jewelry all the time, but like I said, like I'm a bug out, so like I'll get just like a random idea and I'll be like, oh fuck, I gotta make that shit. You know, like just out of nowhere. But I've been I actually surprisingly I went to college. So this is why I actually needed to make money, is because I was in college and you know, I needed to eat. So I went to Hunter College for accessory design, and I actually worked in Manhattan on the Diamond District. But this is a sad story, even though like I am happy because I can make my own jewelry now and have my own name on things. Because when I work for a company, they take all your designs and claim it as theirs. Like, you know, I worked, one of my watches were like one of the best sellers for NY and Co or whatever. And it pisses me off because no one even knows it's mine. Like, that sucks. Like, but my last job on the Diamond District, I was working at a restaurant, and my coworkers would come to my restaurant a lot. They would come, they would hang out with me, you know, whatever, after work, because I was working there in the daytime and the restaurant at night, right? So then that restaurant closed down, and so I had to get another strip. None of the people I worked with there knew I had stripped or did any of this shit before, you know. So then I was like, oh fuck, so I gotta go strip again. So I was gonna go strip a few shifts, right? And I made the dumbass mistake of telling one of my coworkers. And this is the shitty thing about the stigma. I told one of my coworkers, she told our boss that I'm working at this strip club again, blah, blah, blah. She comes into the strip club incognito, right?
Wait. Was she wearing like different clothing and like sunglasses and shit, like a wig?
Yeah, yeah, all of it. Yeah, yeah. She was completely incognito. Yeah, she had like some like headband on, like not something she would ever wear. Like it was pretty fucked up. And she hid behind a pillar as she waited and kind of like watched me. It was really fucking creepy. And then she seen me do my whole stage set. So I did my whole freaking stage set and all of it. And then she has the nerve to go tell one of the employees of the strip club to then go get me and bring me to the front of the strip club almost outside before we leave to fire me. She fired me. And she said that
Fucked up. You don't go to someone's place of business and fuck their shit up. That's not cool.
no, it was really sick. It was really sick. And she was like, yeah, you know, you're really just not what we want for our brand, and we're gonna have to let you go. And I was like, what? And then like everyone told me that I should have like sued them because that's like fake illegal, you know, like that doesn't sound right, you know, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't care. I just said fuck it. So it
All right.
sucks though.
So yeah, totally sucks. Okay, so hmm, let's talk about things that, okay, once you get into the kink rabbit hole, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. Like first of all, I was interested in femdom at a very young age, but I was always a dom. Like, you know my story, and like and the last thing I thought I'd ever like be into something like chastity or pegging or anything like that. So, what are some things that you haven't experienced yet, but you're interested in?
I would honestly, like, I've never myself been. I've seen that all online is girls. They get all the bondage ropes on them, and then they get hung in like a wooded area. Like, and the reason why I wanted in like wood is because like I like love plants. I'm like into plants or whatever. So like
Okay.
really, I like
Oh
it.
no, that's the thing. I know like pagan witches stuff like that. We do that.
Exactly. I am a pagan. Exactly. So I'm into that witch shit. I'm definitely into that witch shit.
All
So
right.
like that, so so it to me it would be super spiritual and like magical to be like completely roped up, like but with trees. It has to be trees. It has to be a super wooded area, and then to be like I've never actually been forced to come. Like no one's ever done that for me.
Ooh, yeah, that's fun. That's so fun, and it's especially if you're into paganism and the beauty of nature. I would highly suggest the movie, the original movie, not the Nick Cage movie, not the American remake. It is great. It's not like, I mean, it's there's sexuality in it, but I wouldn't say it's like an erotic movie. But yeah, if anyone who's in paganism and witchcraft, I would highly suggest The Wicker Man and also The Love Witch. The Love Witch is, I believe, it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, Anna Biller.
You're gonna have to send those to me because
I'll send it. I'll text it. Don't worry. And I'll text you the "Sweet Spirit, Baby" when you close your eyes. That's great. I could just like imagine someone stripping to that song. It's great. Okay, we're gonna get to BDSM on a budget now. I highly suggest, if you have the money, invest in high-end BDSM equipment, sex toys, um, outfits, you name it. You know, they're all great. They're all worth it. Support your, you know, the high end equipment, the people, they work hard and also be safe. But not everybody has the money to do that. And there's a million one ways to be kinky if you are poor. So do you have any BDSM life hacks when it comes to being kinky if you don't have any money?
Okay, so you mean like kinky and crafty?
It could be anything. It could be anything from you know, some like finding something around the house to just talking.
Let me tell you something. That
Okay.
Joann's Fabrics. Do you know that Joann's Fabrics sells faux leather, and you can get it in bulk?
No,
From
I did not know that. That's good.
yes. I feel like that's my only suggestion because like I like sew too, you know what I mean? Because I like work with my hands or whatever, do jewelry. Like I like make my own outfits all the time. Like 90% of the shit you see me wearing, I like made that dumb shit. So like I think like sewing your own outfits is like really crucial and cute and fun. But I'm like at a loss. Like I feel like I'm gonna come up with shit
No.
at you.
That's a great suggestion. Like most people, which is they're great suggestions. You know, are like you know, a wooden spoon or something around the house, like you know, um, something in your kitchen. You could find something to smack somebody with it. But like making your own outfits, especially like if you could find like leather, especially if like buying a leather corset or buying a leather
It's
outfit, that's
expensive.
expensive. But making your own leather outfit could be very cheap. I mean, it costs time, but you know that's a different story. If you have the time to do it, that's great. It's a wonderful answer. Okay, rapid fire questions, and they don't and always end up rapid fire, and they don't have to be kinky. Right?
Okay, I'm ready.
Recommend a movie.
Spirited Away.
What's that about? I haven't heard that.
It's an anime. It's by Hayao Miyazaki. He's just like he makes like really cute anime. Like
Okay. All right. Recommend a song.
um fuck. This is so hard. It's so hard because I seriously like all music. Like I am
Oh, me
you know
too.
what they say? They say Lucifer, the Satan himself was, the angel of music. So, music is so important, like but all music is so important to me. Like I literally like I don't have a favorite. I don't even have a favorite song. I
Oh, I'm
really
not saying a favorite. I'm just saying recommend one.
Oh, recommend a song like
Yeah,
today.
any song. Just like, yeah, you should listen to this.
Today I feel like everybody should listen to Stars Are Blind by Paris Hilton. I think they should.
Okay.
I think everyone should just revisit that and give her a chance.
Okay. All right. Recommend a book.
This book. This is the book that I recommend. Pretty Hurts. You know why? Because this is what I make all my submissives read. Okay? This is how to be a woman. I put it together. Yes, I made this book actually on one of those like bookmaking apps, and I made all my submissives fucking buy it and they read it and they give me inserts and I make them do homework lessons on it. So that book.
Wait, this is your book that you wrote?
No, I didn't write it. It's just compiled pictures of like makeup and like just how to be a woman, just like female etiquette, like. And I wrote it. It's to sissify you. It's my sissification book.
Okay. Recommend a TV show.
Right now the new Sabrina is really good.
Do you know about? Oh, I heard. I read. The Church of Satan is suing Netflix over the new Sabrina. Have you heard about that?
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For like $14 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because of their use of Baphomet.
Oh, what?
You know, the goat.
Did they copyright?
Yeah, yeah. They're suing Netflix for like a shit ton of money.
Holy shit.
Sabrina. All right.
I didn't know you could copyright the Baphomet. That's pretty smart.
All right. Before we get to the final part, you were talking about sissies. Now, you're submissives. Just curious, and it's not a competition or anything like that. But how many submissives would you say you have, and how many would you say are sissies?
Well, right now I feel like I have like regular submissives. I have like 4 guys that like I'm the reason they live. Like, you know what I mean? Like I give them purpose and it's rightfully so. But like they come and go. You know what I mean? Submissives aren't as loyal as you would think. Sometimes they leave, sometimes they come, whatever. Even though they should be, but you know how it goes. But
well, a lot of them leave like private lives that they can't commit 100%, and they
right. It's just entertainment.
They whip out.
Yeah, I don't hold it against them, but I mean like a joking way, But yeah, I've sissified some guys. I make them even embarrass themselves. Like some guys that are like into blackmail and stuff, I'll make them like full on embarrass themselves, like at work, like like maybe send a picture of themselves accidentally to one of their coworkers, like in full regalia, like Victoria's Secret lingerie. Like I make them put body glitter on themselves, like and I always need photographic evidence, in order for me to be pleased. So,
what a screenshot or something like that?
Yeah, no, I need screenshots, I need videos, I need photos, I need it all. I need evidence that they did it, or I'm not gonna be happy.
Oh wow. Okay. So this is to the humiliation kinks, want to explore misconception. Okay. All right. So now we come to we're towards the end. This is the word association game. Now, I'm going to say a word or a phrase. You say the first thing that pops in your head. And now we have rules. So if I say chastity, you may say something like lock. But the first rule is to say the first thing that pops in your head. So it's noon. It's lunchtime, or it's 1 o'clock. It's let's say you're hungry. You haven't had lunch yet. And there's pizza. There's leftover pizza. If I say chastity and you're hungry and you think of pizza, say pizza. It's okay. There's no wrong answer. That's the first rule.
Okay.
The second rule is we don't kink shame here. So if I say a kink, which everything that I say is going to be all A off the top of my head and B is going to be kink related. If I say something that you're not into, please don't make fun of it, or please don't, show disgust. Yeah, just say, not my thing. Okay. And then finally, we have the jar. Tangle Blue, who I absolutely adore. She writes many articles. She is part of the backbone of YourKinkyFriends.com. She sent me this jar, and it has a bunch of words, and some of them are kink related, some of them are nonsense, and we're gonna so there's that. So we both like absurd humor. Okay, you ready to go?
Let's go.
All right. Pegging.
Princess.
Sissies.
Bitch.
Choking.
Yes.
Wax play.
More.
Fire play.
Stop.
Knife play.
Hot.
Corsets.
Cute.
Straitjackets.
Cute.
The daddy baby girl dynamic.
Uh, we'll say not for me.
Oh, okay. The Hitachi violet. I mean, the Hitachi magic wand.
Perfect.
The violet wand.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's electric. It goes. It sends a little electric shocks to you.
Oh.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty fun. All right. Slapping.
Yes.
All right. Cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus. Um, Cunnilingus kisses, honestly. Kisses.
All right. All right. All right. Let's go into the jar. Now, keep in mind, I don't know what I'm pulling out here. Oh, masturbation.
Me time.
That's probably the best answer. I got to that one. All right. Kitten.
Kitten, me. Also me, but not me time, but just me. I'm kitten.
Okay. Nachos.
A great snack.
Okay. Dick pic.
Stop.
All right. Fishnets.
Perfect. Fishnets are so crucial. Like fishnets in themselves, just aside from everything, like are their own culture.
I love them. I love them, love them, love them. It's so good. All right. Cock.
Big.
Ball gag.
Need. I need one.
Red.
My eyes.
Okay. Water sports or AKA piss play.
Pay me.
Okay. Non consensual, non-consensual, or AKA rape play.
Honestly, oh my god, I don't even know what to say about that because it does. Like I would be like I'm into like, and I've done some like fantasy like rape play like with like my boyfriends, but like honestly, rape is like horrifying, and like I've actually also been physically raped
Oh,
aside from things. So I don't know if I'm fucked up because of it. I really, but I'm not gonna try to get that deep into my mental right now. I don't really need to go to therapy, but I I think it's hot. I mean, like I like the idea of my boyfriend who I consent to fucking being so turned on that he can't help. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like I've done it with like
definitely.
safe words. You know, like
As long as it's like a consensual thing, and
it's
um,
hot. Yeah,
I,
but if
I
it's
hear
not,
I
then
actually write about it in my book, Your Kinky Friends. This woman she had to literally force me to pretend to rape her. Think about
I
that.
I,
She had to
I get
force
that. Yeah,
me to pretend. She had to talk me into. I was like, no, 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 and she's like, I need you to do this. I need you. Like, no, no, no. She's like, no, I need you to do this. I was like, okay, so and finally, we've come to the end. Scat.
we're gonna for the toilet bowls where only place it should be.
Okay. All right. Oh my God. PHANI3, you've been an absolute pleasure to talk to. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Please take this time to promote anything and everything, including your jewelry website, your Instagram, your Twitter, your website, your vid, whatever, where you're dancing. Please go.
Yay, thank you so much. This was so fun. Like, you don't like I'm a Leo, so I'm gonna
I'm
promote
a
that
Leo
I'm a
too.
Leo. No way. Okay, so this has been so fun. I like love this. Like, you know how like Leos, like we really love talking about ourselves. So like perfect for me. Wonderful. This was great. I want to promote my website. It's SADELES. That's the Dells, but it just goes to my Etsy or whatever. But then like, and my mini vids is PHANI3, dot mini vids, and you can buy my videos there. And also my fetish content is on I Want Clips, but you have to go to my Twitter, which is PHANI3 STAR, which is on Twitter, and like the rest of my shit is there. And check me out because I do my best and I have fun. So
Definitely, definitely. Like, you really caught my eye, and I'm so glad that we figured out time to we were going to do this on Thursday, but you were dancing, and
oh yeah, come visit me. Yeah, I just got in. I'm started now. So real quick, I've worked at every strip club in Manhattan, and like I drink a lot, so like whatever, and I'm a little funny and crazy, so like I get fired a lot. Oh, and by the way, girls, don't be like me. Don't be like me. But also, stripping, getting fired is not really getting fired. It's more like a just come back in 3 months kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I've been like, so now I work in Queens, but I just got hired there at Show Palace. So if anyone's in Queens, come to Show Palace. I'll pop my pussy all over you. It's full nude. So
All
that's
right. That's awesome. Okay, so please, after we sign off, please stay on the line because I want to talk to you a little bit more, just about like a minute or something like that. In
okay.
the meantime, go promote PHANI3. Go visit her. Go to her sites. Buy her videos. Check her out on Twitter. Check me out. I'm at Nicholas Tanek. I'm at Nicholas Tanek on Facebook. I'm at Nicholas Tanek on Twitter. I'm at Nick Tanek on Instagram. There's a Your Kinky Friends Discord group on. You just go to yourkinkyfriends.com. You can find it. There's a secret Your Kinky Friends group on Facebook, and yeah, just you'll find me. Just look up Nicholas Tanek or Your Kinky Friends. You'll find me. It's getting late, my friends. Even though it's in the middle of the day, my Dom is calling me. Remember the main rule: be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Stay kinky. Take care. Have a great weekend.